On April 27, 2011, Alabama faced one of its darkest days as 62 tornadoes tore through the state, including the devastating EF4 Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado. Spanning 80 miles and 1.5 miles wide, it left 65 dead, 1,500 injured, and entire neighborhoods in ruins, causing $2.4 billion in damage. Part of the historic 2011 super outbreak, which claimed 360 lives across 26 states, the disaster reshaped communities and underscored the urgent need for improved weather warnings, disaster preparedness, and infrastructure resilience. A tragic reminder of nature's power, it left a legacy of grief, recovery, and resolve. The day began ominously, with a first wave of severe weather sweeping through Alabama between 3:30 a.m. and 9:00 a.m. This initial onslaught claimed 5 lives and left 250,000 people without power. As the morning progressed, meteorologists grew increasingly concerned about the potential for more severe weather later in the day. Tuscaloosa, home to the University of Alabama and a city of nearly 100,000 residents, and Birmingham, the state's largest city with a population over 200,000, lay in the path of what was to come. These two urban centers, separated by about 60 miles, were about to face one of the most destructive tornadoes in U.S. history. Mayor Walter Maddox of Tuscaloosa, heeding warnings from the National Weather Service, activated the city's emergency protocols.
We had severe weather that morning between 3:30 and 9 o'clock, and during that time, 5 people were killed and 250,000 people had no power.
National Weather Service notified me that Tuscaloosa had a 40% plus chance of being hit by a tornado.
It's important that we take heed of this, and hopefully Tuscaloosa will come out unscathed, but it doesn't hurt for us to be prepared and ready for what lies ahead in the next few hours.
The National Weather Service notified me that Tuscaloosa had a 40% plus chance of being hit by a tornado. Maddox later recalled, "It's important that we take heed of this and hopefully Tuscaloosa come out unscathed, but it doesn't hurt for us to be prepared and ready for what lies ahead in the next few hours." As the day wore on, a deceptive calm settled over the region. The sun emerged, leading many to believe the worst had passed. This false sense of security would prove deadly. Sharon Allen, who worked in the emergency department at DCH Regional Medical Center that day, remembered the eerie atmosphere.
I love working in the emergency department because you have the opportunity to take care of people. It was a typical day in the emergency department, typical patients that we get every day. One of the paramedics mentioned that bad weather was coming in. One of the nurses and I walked outside, and it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining.
One of the paramedics mentioned that bad weather was coming in. One of the nurses and I walked outside, and it was a beautiful day. The sun was shining. Meteorologists, however, remained on high alert. They observed a rare confluence of factors that spelled trouble. One expert noted,
"The kind of stuff where we really ask you to pay attention."
The fact that the sun is out is the worst possible thing because that makes the air more buoyant and unstable.
The temperatures continue to warm. The instability increases, and again, a lot of the severe weather parameters are just off the charts today.
Looking at the data, we have a checklist of about 64 parameters that you need for a tornado. We had about 60 of the 64, they were just screaming, almost an extreme range.
That any of these
Looking at the data, we have a checklist of about 64 parameters that you need for a tornado. We had about 60 of the 64. They were just screaming almost an extreme range that any of these storms could erupt and go severe in a heartbeat. At 4:43 p.m., the monster tornado touched down in rural Greene County. It quickly gained strength as it moved northeast on a collision course with Tuscaloosa. Eyewitnesses described the approaching storm with a mix of awe and terror.
We knew we had something big coming.
As the tornado crossed the Black Warrior River north of Interstate 20, it intensified to an EF4 rating with winds reaching 170 mph. The funnel, now nearly a mile wide, bore down on Tuscaloosa with devastating force. Along 15th Street and McFarland Boulevard, restaurants, stores, and homes were reduced to rubble. The Cedar Crest neighborhood was particularly hard hit, with many cinder block homes leveled and at least 3 fatalities reported. The tornado continued its rampage through the Alberta City community. Alberta Elementary School was nearly obliterated, with only a few walls left standing. A nearby 2-story apartment building was reduced to a pile of debris on its foundation. The Alberta Park Shopping Center was completely destroyed, with no walls remaining. As the tornado moved northeast, its path widened to an astonishing 1.5 miles. In the Holt area, the destruction reached a terrifying peak. One home on a foundation was swept completely clean, with only floor joists remaining attached. Nearly all trees in the vicinity were blown down or snapped, even in a narrow ravine nearly 100 feet below.
First responders who were here were so busy pulling the living from all of this debris, they were forced to ignore the dead. That's how bad this is. You can hear the sound of smoke detectors in the distance, but no one's here. There's the smell of death. Across town, 16 people were killed, and most of them were killed in this neighborhood. So many families, so many people whose lives were ruined. They were massive, truly massive tornadoes, nearly a mile wide, churning through homes, taking more than a dozen lives in Tuscaloosa. Another 5 dead here, 6 dead there, as the sirens sounded all across the state of Alabama and parts of Georgia.
It's almost as if a bomb went off in the neighborhood.
From the sky, it certainly looked like a bomb.
It's devastating. It's just, I'm in shock.
This was the view from surveillance video in Covington, Mississippi. This salvage yard didn't stand a chance. The storm forced forecasters at the National Weather Service in Huntsville to leave their building and run for cover. West of Huntsville, the Browns Ferry nuclear power plant lost power. They had to fire up generators to keep the unit safely running. Late last night, the president and Alabama's governor quickly declared this a disaster zone.
We're also going to send in National Guard troops tonight and in the morning to many of the areas. At least 1,400 troops are going in.
Today, those troops will join firefighters and volunteers to search for survivors like this young girl who was pulled from underneath a large pile of bricks. Survivors like Patty Perez. She was sandwiched in her flattened home. It took 3 men to pull her free.
I couldn't get up. I was having to move stuff off of me, and I got up. This is what I woke up to.
Shamika Robinson ran inside this gas station for cover. It was destroyed. Somehow she made it out alive.
The ceiling collapsed on me. The door slammed back on me.
George, they're saying that the storm that hit here, the tornado, had wind speeds of up to 200 miles an hour.
The tornado maintained its incredible strength as it entered Jefferson County. In the Concord area, it once again reached violent EF4 intensity. Small retail shops along County Road 46 were completely destroyed, leaving only piles of debris on their foundations. Several cinder block homes were obliterated, with debris swept away by the ferocious winds. The Pleasant Grove community was next in the tornado's path. Here, the destruction was equally severe, with entire homes wiped from their foundations. Evidence of the tornado's incredible power was everywhere, with vehicles tossed 10 to 15 yards and debris from destroyed homes scattered across the landscape. As the tornado approached the McDonald Chapel area, it showed signs of weakening, but still packed enough punch to cause significant damage. Many homes in this area, built on pier and beam foundations, were particularly vulnerable to the high winds. At least one death occurred here. The tornado continued through the Smithfield Estates area, causing significant damage along Cherry Avenue. The Bethel Baptist Church sustained major roof damage, though its main structure remained intact. By the time the tornado reached Interstate 65 in the Fultondale area, it was clearly losing strength. The final vestiges of the tornado lifted just west of Alabama Highway 79, about 2 miles north of Tarrant. In its wake, the tornado left a trail of destruction 80.68 miles long. Its maximum winds were estimated at 190 mph, and at its widest point, it measured 1.5 miles across. The human toll was staggering: 65 lives lost and 1,500 people injured. In the immediate aftermath, thousands of rescue workers dug through the wreckage, searching for survivors and recovering bodies. Hospitals, including DCH Regional Medical Center, were overwhelmed with injured patients. Dr. Allen recalled the chaos.
The hospital came by ambulance, and we never saw them on the trauma hall because they perished before they actually got into the hospital. It was very difficult because they're children. Patients came so quickly, and they just continued to come. It's like there was no end. Before you knew it, the whole emergency department was completely filled. People sitting in the floors, on countertops. Rooms that were made for a patient would have 4 and 5 patients. The hard part is you would have mamas and daddies coming in looking for their children. So you had to tell them, I don't know where your child is. And so you have these panicked parents begging you to tell them that their children are okay, and you can't.
Patients came so quickly, and they just continued to come. It's like there was no end. Before you knew it, the whole emergency department was completely filled. People sitting on the floors, on countertops. Rooms that were made for 1 patient would have 4 and 5 patients. The emotional toll on medical staff was immense. Dr. Allen shared a particularly poignant moment. There was this young college boy who came in, and he had some really significant chest trauma and head trauma. He reminded me of my son, and I felt like I wanted to be the one to take care of him. All I could think of was, here is this young man who did absolutely nothing wrong, but he's gonna die, and I knew he was gonna die, and it just broke my heart. Personal stories of loss and survival emerged in the days that followed. One woman reported that the storm had blown her newborn baby out of her arms. Rescuers searched frantically in the rubble, following the sound of a cry, only to discover it was a child's doll with a crying mechanism. The fate of the infant remained unknown. The recovery process began immediately, but faced significant challenges. Power outages, blocked roads, and widespread destruction hampered efforts. However, the community's response was swift and powerful. Volunteers poured in from across the region to help with cleanup and provide support to those who had lost everything. The scale of the disaster drew national attention. President Barack Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama visited Tuscaloosa to tour the damage and offer support. The president remarked, "I've never seen devastation like this. It's heartbreaking." He pledged the full resources of the federal government to aid in the recovery efforts.
Here it comes.
Right there. That is wicked, man.
Get over here out of the way so we can hit for cover if we have.
Is it coming over us?
Yeah, it's getting close. Oh, look at this over here.
Yeah. I think it's going to go right over there. Oh, that is wicked. Wow. Look at that vortex. Look at that vortex coming down.
That is a monster.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah, watch it now. It's leaning our way.
I know it.
In the weeks and months that followed, the affected communities began the long process of rebuilding. The New York Yankees organization contributed $500,000 to the American Red Cross and Salvation Army to aid in recovery efforts, and the Atlanta Braves organization donated $100,000. Actor Charlie Sheen visited the city to pay his respects and donated supplies for relief efforts, along with several other actors, musicians, and athletes. The University of Alabama, deeply affected by the disaster, held a delayed graduation ceremony for the class of 2011 on August 6. It awarded posthumous degrees to 6 students who died in the tornado. In the years since, both Tuscaloosa and Birmingham have made significant strides in rebuilding and improving their emergency preparedness. The tornado left an indelible mark on the region's psyche and landscape, spurring changes in building codes, warning systems, and community disaster planning. The Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado was part of the larger 2011 super outbreak, which set numerous records. In Alabama alone, 62 tornadoes touched down on April 27, more than any other day since records began in 1950. The outbreak as a whole produced about 360 tornadoes across 26 states, marking a new record for a continuous outbreak. The 2011 super outbreak spanned 4 days and impacted 26 states, with Alabama being the hardest hit by far. There were 3 rounds of severe and tornadic thunderstorms that moved across the northern half of the state that Wednesday. The first came early in the morning in the form of a quasi-linear convective system. This intense line of storms produced widespread damaging winds and numerous tornadoes, including multiple strong EF2+ ones.
¡Uy, qué feo! Yo nunca, Dios.
Oye, vámonos.
Chingue su madre, si bien soy yo casas.
¡Ay, no, no, no!
Métanse al baño. Métanse al baño, métanse allá al closet, métanse al closet. Métanse al closet, Silvia. Dios mío, que Dios nos cuide, Silvia. Cama. Ya estamos aquí, Silvia, está tomando todo. Viene para acá. ¡Hey, cámara! ¡Hey! ¡Vato, bájate, güey! ¡Bájate, güey!
Se hubiera metido aquí, man.
شباب في تورنيدو جاي اصوري لكم اياه على الكاميرا. شفتوا كيف التورنيدو بتكون؟ تورنيدو جاي، كل العالم بتتخبى. خذوا.
خش يا زلمه، يلا امشي يا زلمه، خش.
Seriously, look at
خش يلا، شو مالك؟
خلي صور على الكاميرا.
Come in here now.
Look at the tornado.
Like this.
Oh man.
Turn that
Look,
light.
look.
اسمعوا اهدوا.
It's coming.
Shit.
Hello.
Oh shit. Man.
Hello.
ابو حميد تورنيدو شنو؟
بقول لك التورنيدو جاي عندنا.
Look at that. Oh. Look.
Oh damn.
Look. It's coming this way.
Oh shit. Man.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Hey guys. Oh my gosh.
I want to see this.
Damn.
Whoa. That's how they told us. It's okay.
Oh my gosh. خش جوا. Ooh, damn.
Look. Is it coming here? It's coming this way. Wow. What are you doing here? Shit. Whoa, look at all the shit that's picking up.
Oh shit.
Man. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. What? Oh my gosh.
It's picking up speed. Look at that guy. Whoa.
Whoa.
Gosh.
Oh my gosh. خبط. يجي السيارات يي
second round came around lunchtime. It was also a QLCS and produced a handful of weaker tornadoes up near the Huntsville and Decatur areas. The third round began in the middle of the afternoon and continued well into the evening hours. It was this round that brought the most devastation across the state, featuring numerous supercells that produced strong to violent and deadly long-track tornadoes. An incredible 11 EF4, EF5 tornadoes either touched down in or moved across some part of Alabama on that single day. The strongest, most violent tornado of the entire outbreak was the Hackleburg-Phil Campbell EF5. Maximum winds in that deadly tornado reached an unfathomable 210 mph. The tornado tore a 132-mile path of destruction, killing 72. It was the nation's deadliest single tornado in over 50 years. The total cost of damage from the tornado outbreak amounted to $10.2 billion in 2011 USD, making it the costliest tornado outbreak in U.S. history. The Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado alone caused $2.4 billion in damage, making it, at the time, the costliest single tornado in U.S. history. Meteorologists and emergency management officials have studied the 2011 outbreak extensively, leading to improvements in severe weather forecasting and public warning systems. The event underscored the importance of taking tornado warnings seriously, even in urban areas that historically had been considered less vulnerable to such storms. One of the key lessons learned was the importance of clear, decisive communication during severe weather events. James Spann, a meteorologist who was on air during the tornado, emphasized the need for direct language.
I want everybody in the city limits of Tuscaloosa to stay sheltered.
I have a wife and 2 children, but you cannot be fatigued, you cannot be distracted, you cannot be emotional.
Nobody should be on campus walking, nobody should be...
The outbreak also highlighted the critical role of technology in weather forecasting and public safety. The use of live streaming video during the event proved particularly impactful.
These storms are extremely dangerous today.
I think some of the real heroes were our people in the field. If we just showed radar, for a lot of people it looks like a bucket of spill paint. But you show a live stream, I will tell you, people will do something.
Just look at the live stream.
In the aftermath of the tornado, both Tuscaloosa and Birmingham implemented new strategies for disaster preparedness and response. These included improvements to early warning systems, enhanced community education programs about severe weather safety, and updates to building codes to improve structural resilience in the face of high winds.
You're safe, baby. That's all that matters.
Calm down, kids. Just, kids, please take a breath.
Where is it?
Take a breath, kids. Just take a breath.
Daddy, where is it?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about where it is, honey.
Just hold your sissy, and everything will be okay.
There it is right there.
The event also spurred research into tornado dynamics and formation. The Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado, with its multiple vortices and extreme width, provided valuable data for meteorologists studying the most violent and destructive tornadoes. Today, the Tuscaloosa Birmingham tornado stands as a somber reminder of nature's power and the importance of preparedness. It also serves as a symbol of the resilience of the affected communities, which have rebuilt and grown stronger in the face of unimaginable devastation. The legacy of April 27, 2011, lives on in the memories of those who experienced it, in the changed landscape of the region, and in the ongoing efforts to improve severe weather safety and awareness across the United States.